to Ryan, Danny, Shami, Sarah, and Fritz, the queen of
Okay na mo sa election. And today's economy. Economy! COVID-19 education. I mean, Philippines can relate.
Can you feel that in the Philippines? No, kasi ba ang winners
And losers. Let's go.
economies rise, ideas collide, uniting the planet side by side. Different tongues but one heartbeat. Together we stand, nothing we can't beat. History lessons, future dreams. We're spilling on the tea, we're making streams. Culture clashing, melting pot. But months and bills can't make us stop. We're six gals and a queen so fierce, talking about the world and all its gears. From John to May to Ryan, Danny, Shami, Sarah, and Fritz, the queen of
Good day, everyone! And welcome to our podcast. But before anything else, let's give ourselves a round of applause. Really presence. Because this is the very first episode of our podcast. So why not give ourselves a round of applause? Let's give them the energy. Milo every day.
So before we start, why don't we introduce ourselves?
Dito, it's roll call time!
Hey y'all, I'm Sarah.
I'm Fritz.
Danny. I'm May. I am Cha. I'm Shami.
I'm Riza, and this is the Girls Podcast. So I'm honestly so curious to know what this whole podcast will look like. Because even just from the intro, you could feel the energy
the
and the excitement on the topics that napag-uusapan natin.
Correct.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. There's so much store for us and for our listeners. But before we dive into it, let's check in. How's everyone doing today?
Let's ask the audience if okay na ba mo? Okay na mo sa election. Di ba? So, let's go.
So I can tell I can tell that everyone is so ready for today. We've all been dying for this lunch.
Correct. Totally, and I love how natural this feels already. Just like we're having a conversation.
Di ba?
So, what's in store for us for today's episode?
Well, in today's economy. I mean, kidding aside, because we will be talking about something that actually affects every single one of us, whether we realize it or not. It is the economic globalization. What is this about, no? Ang global, no?
Now that might sound like a big heavy term, no? But it is not just for the economists and business experts. It is also something atong experience daily, like the clothes we wear,
Correct.
the gadgets we use, and also sa atong mga gipangkaon. It is all part of this global web of trade and connection.
Exactly. So in simple terms, economic globalization is the growing interdependence of world economies.
True.
It is how goods, services, capital, technology, and information flow more freely across borders.
Yeah.
And it's only accelerating.
Accelerating.
And here's the thing, it's not just about big companies or politicians. Globalization affects us, students, workers,
Correct.
entrepreneurs. So it's all about us.
It's always about us. Us, nothing else. Us.
Yes,
Really
that's why it is so
relevant.
relevant today. So one small change in one part of the world, like a policy, a war, or a pandemic, can create a ripple effects globally.
Yeah.
Just like how the COVID-19 disrupted the
COVID-19.
It's really made our life miserable, no?
So in this episode, let's talk about the good, the bad, and everything in between about economic globalization.
Yeah, exactly.
And then pag-usapan na rin natin yung benefits,
the challenges,
diba?
Yeah, of
and what it
course.
means for our future.
Of course.
So, whether you're figuring out your career path, managing a small business, or even just wondering why your favorite snack is suddenly more expensive.
Inflation! I mean, Philippines can relate. So, grab your coffee. So, where's our coffee? No coffee. So, get comfy and let's dive into our very first episode of our podcast. Again, welcome to
The Girls Podcast!
So, atong dakong pangutana, no? So, what is exactly economic globalization? Kasi let's karang talking lagi kay na-discuss na nato siya sa atong intro nga unsa siya, yung benefits. So, let's go deeper na sa atong information ng atong discussion, di ba?
Let's go.
So in the simplest form, it is the process of countries becoming more interconnected through the exchange of goods, services, investments, and even information.
Yeah, so picture this, guys, ha. You order sneakers online, then it is made in Vietnam, but then it is designed from Germany, and now it is shipped in China. Yun, globalization.
Complex
naman.
So complex, di ba?
Yes, and it's kind of incredible. Yes.
Why is it incredible?
Incredible.
Because these access we have to the world, and one of the benefits is more choices, better prices, and
Yes.
faster innovation.
Correct! That's
So, in a larger scale, no, globalization has helped countries grow their economies because it creates jobs and lift millions out of poverty.
Correct.
But I feel that in the Philippines,
No,
Next,
that's why there's a big but. There is a big but. It's because it's not all sunshine.
correct.
and rainbows.
Correct. That's true. I agree.
Definitely not, because while some gain from this system, others lose. Local industries often struggle to compete with these massive international brands. Jobs get outsourced to place where the labor is cheaper.
Correct. Thus, there is the environmental cost. The global shipping industry alone contributes heavily to carbon emissions, and rapid industrialization can lead to various serious depletion.
True.
So not to mention inequality. Well, truth is, not everyone is benefited to globalization equally.
True.
Correct.
In
That's
fact,
correct.
in many cases, it's made a gap between the rich and the poor even bigger.
Yes, I agree. Yes. So, like we said, pag-uusapan natin ang good, bad, and everything in between about
It's
about economic globalization.
and the real world impacts also.
Yes, that's right.
We're going to break it all down starting with the winners. Winners? May panalo pala dito.
So sino nga ba ang mga winners?
And losers. Let's go.
Winners muna.
Correct.
Who is winning in this global game?
Sino nga ba?
Corporation.
Corporation. They highlight corporation, guys.
Companies like Amazon, Apple, Coca-Cola, they have expanded and thriving.
Correct. Like, you can see it also, the influence of these
Yes.
companies, di ba?
Yes, actually, these companies tap into global markets. They source cheap labors and build massive supply chains.
Yeah,
Ang
exactly.
resulta, ana, guys, huge profits and global influence. Diba?
Also, guys, as consumers are also on the winning side.
Oh,
Because
really? How?
they get access to products all over the world at affordable prices.
Okay, that's
So,
good.
madali na kayo ito maka-order through Shein, Shopee, Lazada, and Temo.
Yeah, we can see it, guys. Door-to-door nga delivery, di ba?
Lalo na pag may sale.
Voucher! Shopee win again!
And also, guys, don't forget the skilled workers in wealthier countries. There's growing demands for experts in tech, finance, and engineering. And that means higher salaries and more opportunities.
Yes,
Di ba nga
of
talaga yung
course.
mga ganyang ano?
And this would not
not possible without technology.
Yes,
Faster
technology.
communication and instant transaction is what drive globalization.
Yes, exactly. But while the success stories are inspiring, they highlight an important question. Who's getting left behind? Who's getting left behind? That's the question, no?
So, sa madaling salita, tayong lahat. Especially in developing countries.
One major issue is job displacement. Well, companies often relocate production to countries with cheaper labor, leaving the workers in their original location jobless.
So even within developing nations, industries are affected also. Look at the textile sector in Bangladesh, di ba? Competition from the even cheaper producers has led to widespread job loss.
Also, automation is adding another layer. Machines are replacing low-skilled labor, which means even jobs that do remain are at risk. Another big problem is income inequality. While some people get richer, others fall further behind. So the gap between urban and rural areas continues to widen.
Yes, actually we're seeing this everywhere from India and Brazil to parts of Africa and Southeast Asia. Cities boom, but na yung mga rural communities nga stagnant.
Stagnant ang ilang
And then, there's labor exploitation,
Kanapod.
low wages, unsafe conditions, and long hours. All common in industries like electronics and garments.
Okay. Example, the Rana Plaza disaster in 2000.
That's familiar.
Over
What happened
1,100 garments worker died when a factory in Bangladesh collapsed.
That's so sad. That's so sad.
Yes,
That's
they
very
were
sad.
making clothes for global brands under terrible conditions. Yes.
So, efforts like fair trade and ethical sourcing exist, but let's be real, no? Hindi yun sapat.
Enough. Yeah, not enough. It's not enough.
Kasi
It's enough.
most of workers are still stuck in unsafe and
It's kind of lack of protection.
lack of protection.
So where does it leave us?
Yes.
Globalization isn't all bad, but it's not fair by default.
Yes.
Well, it created opportunities, yes, but also it creates deep divide. And if we want a more inclusive future,
Yes.
we must take a hard look at how we shape and participate in the system.
Exactly, because let's be real here. Here's the truth, no? Globalization does not run on autopilot. It's shaped by the policy, corporate decision, and collective choices of people like us. That means that it can be reformed, but it needs intention also. Government need to create stronger protection for the workers. Corporations need to be held accountable for the conditions of climate change. And we, as a consumers and citizens, need to be get informed and take an action. Diba?
So guys, the government must enforce labor laws that will protect the rights of the workers and put in a good working condition.
Yes.
The corporations must implement fair wages.
Exactly.
And as consumers, we should be mindful of what we buy and start conversation like this to raise awareness that will lead to a betterment.
Yes. That's right.
I'll take note on that.
Same.
Because the more we understand the system, the better equipped we are to change it.
Correct.
Yes. Whether it's pushing for fair policies, making ethical purchase, yes, each action matters.
Correct.
Globalization is here to stay, but what looks like going forward is all up to us.
So today, we've explored the complex, fascinating world of economic globalization. So from what it is to who benefits it, the struggles, challenges, and what it means for our future.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So we've seen that globalization brings innovation, opportunity, and connection. But it also brings inequality, what do we call this? Expectation.
Yes.
and
True.
Exactly.
True.
And also, as we go deeper no sa atong discussion karon, I have the important thing is to ask question, seek understanding, and recognize our place in this global puzzle. Just it's always us. It's always us, you guys.
True, guys, because like it or not, globalization is here to stay.
Stay.
The more we understand it, the better we can adopt, engage, and shape it into something more just and sustainable.
Sustainable.
Yes.
Diba?
So thank you so much, guys, for joining us on this first episode of
Yay!
the Gals Podcast. So if you learned something new or have thoughts to share, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, exactly.
And don't forget, this is just the beginning.
Yes.
We'll be back with more
Yes.
episodes
Comment
exploring
below.
topics that impact our world today.
Yes.
Until next time, stay curious, stay global, and stay tuned.
Yes. Until next time, everyone.
Bye-bye.
With six gals and a queen so fierce, talking about the world and all its gears. From Chai to May to Ryan, Danny, Shami, Sarah, and Fritz, the queen uncanny. Global talks with all the sass, breaking borders, breaking glass. From the east to the west, we span one team, one vibe, one global plan. With six gals and a queen so fierce, talking about the world and all its gears. From Chai to May to Ryan, Danny, Shami, Sarah, and Fritz, the queen uncanny. Economies rise, ideas collide, uniting the planet side by side. Different tongues but one heartbeat. Together we stand, nothing we can't beat. History lessons, future dreams. We're spilling the tea, we're making streams. Culture clashing, melting pot. But months and bills can't make us stop. We're six gals and a queen so fierce, talking about the world and all its gears. From Chai to May to Ryan, Danny, Shami, Sarah, and Fritz, the queen uncanny. We're six gals and a queen so fierce, talking about the world and all its gears. From Chai to May to Ryan, Danny, Shami, Sarah, and Fritz, the queen uncanny. With six gals and a queen so fierce, talking about the world and all its gears. From Chai to May to Ryan, Danny, Shami, Sarah, and Fritz, the queen uncanny. Global talks with all the sass, breaking borders, breaking glass. From the east to the west, we span one team, one vibe, one global plan. With six gals and a queen so fierce, talking about the world and all its gears. From Chai to May to Ryan, Danny, Shami, Sarah, and Fritz, the queen uncanny. Economies rise, ideas collide, uniting the planet side by side. Different tongues but one heartbeat. Together we stand, nothing we can't beat. History lessons, future dreams. We're spilling